Hi, welcome to the first session of Rethink Disciple Making. You may be joining us for a couple of different reasons. You might already be in a small group class that's going through this, and maybe you've missed a session, or you might be someone who's getting ready to lead a class, maybe inside your church, maybe in your business, and you want to use these videos as a way to prepare you week to week as you get ready to go. So since we're starting, this is the first session, let me give just a little explanation of who we are as Men's Ministry Network and what this thing Rethink Disciple Making is. I'm Chris Ackerson. I'm the Executive Director of Men's Ministry Network. The material we're going to be going through was written and compiled by the founder of the ministry, Bernie Ritterbush. He may join us in later sessions along the way. But we want to give you an overview of what we're going to be talking about. This is the first round of doing this. We're going to be very conversational. Don't be surprised if I look at my computer sometimes, if I'm flipping through a book. As much as possible, it'll be just like you're sitting across the room from me. So what is this Rethink Disciple Making? Well, there's 7 sessions in this series, and what we're going to be doing is exploring more deeply this call of us from the Great Commission to make disciples. We want to dig deeper into that. We want to draw an important distinction between the term discipleship that we hear quite a bit in our world and the idea of disciple making, a more action-based call for us as Christians. We're going to go through several different things in this series. We'll intro today and talk about beginning where others may end. We're also going to cover topics like why. Why should we rethink disciple making? Is it even important? We're going to look at what's missing. Why is it not happening in our world? What are the elements that aren't there? And then we're going to look at kind of really the meat of this. We're going to look at the essence, the aim, the measures and milestones, and then really not even until the final 7th session get into the approaches to disciple making. We're going to use a lot of scripture to look at what the Bible tells us about this, and we're going to look at a lot of practical things in our lives and in our world that may be affecting or being affected by disciple making or the lack of it. The goal to completion of the course is for all of the participants that are involved to have a clear picture of their personal call to be involved in this thing called disciple making. We want to know, help you know how your lives are really called by the Great Commission as a Christian, that it's not just something for certain people, but for those of us that follow Christ, this is a call for all of us. So we're going to walk through those things. We hope that it's an interesting walk for you. Generally, we do this in a way where there's folks to have conversations with each other, and we hope you'll be in that scenario as well. So let's kind of dive in. I want you to understand where this fits in what we do as a ministry. We have what we call a mobilization process. Mobilizing is a military term that's about calling up troops for battle, and we definitely think that we are in a battle for the lives and the hearts and the souls of our men. Where this fits is the opening conversation, and we've had this conversation with individual men, small groups in churches and businesses. We've done it in retreat settings, but it's really designed to be a paradigm-changing conversation about disciple making. That's why we call it Rethink Disciple Making. So it's the beginning. We also spend time with men when and if they need it to talk about what are the resources and tools out there that might be used as a part of disciple making. And then at the end, we have a series called The Intangibles that looks at the relational side of disciple making, that what makes it more than just going through a Bible study, but instead how the relationship one man or one man to several men, how that is the transforming part of these conversations. So that's kind of how that fits in your workbook that you've got. You'll see on page looks like page 4. There's a kind of a chart there that talks about that. We look at those in a few different ways. We sometimes call this course the basic training in that military term, looking at the resources. You might think of going to the rifle range, trying out different weapons or tools that you would use in the battle. And then finally, that intangibles, you might think of more as advanced training. And that's the place that's designed in our mobilizing process to help you actually get engaged in the battle. Not just getting information in your head, but how do you actually engage with another man? So moving forward, if you've got your books, the next thing that I'd really like you to do is the first page in your workbook has got a survey. I'd like you to get that out, spend some time with that for a few minutes, and it will help frame the conversation as we move forward in the next segment.